Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello friends, how are you today? I hope all of you have a good condition today. So, this is the story that I will give you the moral value about greedy. This is the story, the origin of Sungai Kawat from West Kalimantan. My name is Faizah Eka Fakhriyyah. I'm from MTS Ummusshabri Kendari, and this is the story. A long time ago, in Sintang, West Kalimantan, lived a poor fisherman with his family. They lived in an old rotten wooden house by the river. To meet the needs of his family's life, every day the fisherman went fishing in the river. If lucky, he got enough fish to eat for a few days with his family. But if he was unlucky, he came home without bringing a fish. One day, the family didn't have anything to eat. So, early in the morning, the fisherman rowed his boat in the river. Didn't forget to bring 2 fishing rods with the hope that if the fishing line broke, he would still have another one. With full of hope, the fisherman rowed his boat down the river to the upstream. Arriving at a deep river, he began to stretch one of his fishing rods that had been baited into the water. Hopefully, today I can get a lot of fish, he said as he waited for his fishing rod to be pulled by fish. After a few minutes he waited, not even a single fish had touched the bait. Seeing this, he lifted his fishing line to check if the bait was still there. And unfortunately, it was still there. Determined to bring fish for his family at home, the fisherman did not give up. He was still eagerly waiting for his fishing rod to be pulled by fish. Until the day before noon, the fisherman had not caught a single fish yet. He repeatedly moved place to look for deeper depths, but no fish caught the bait yet. Maybe the fish around this lubuk are already dwindling, he said. I'd better look deeper into the depths. Enthusiastically, the fisherman paddled his boat towards the upper reaches of the river until he found a small bay. The place was quite good because there were many mossy rocks and shady trees jutting into the river. Wow! This place must have a lot of fish, he said. After changing his bait to a newer one, the fisherman immediately threw the fishing rod on the boat, whistling and occasionally pulling the line. But until late afternoon, not a single fish pulled his fishing line. Bad lucky today. I've moved many times but haven't caught a single fish yet, complained the fisherman. What will my family eat later? The fisherman was getting confused. He still wanted to try to get fish for his family at home, while it was getting late. In the midst of the confusion, he suddenly felt his fishing rod being pulled. He was immediately startled and tried to pull the fishing rod. But the harder he pulled it, the fishing rod was dragged into the middle of the river. So he quickly stretched out his fishing rod. This time, he didn't want to lose the only fish he caught. Because the fish continued to pull him, the fisherman rowed his boat, following the tug to the middle of the deepest river. It was getting dark, but the fisherman had not been able to pull his fishing line. Luckily, at that time, the night moon shone its light, so he could see the direction of his fish pole. As soon as the pole started to weaken, the fisherman quickly pulled his fishing rod on the top. How disappointed! Because he hoped for a big fish, but it's an only piece of wire rope. Disappointed, the fisherman backed the fishing line into the water. "I was really unlucky today," said the fisherman in a disappointed tone. Finally, the fisherman decided to stop fishing. He also rolled up his fishing line to hurry back to the house, even though empty-handed. How surprised! He was after rewinding his fishing line and he found some wire on the hook. He looked closer and saw that the wire was made of gold. "Hey, did I see it right? Isn't this a gold wire?" he said in surprise. His rowing face suddenly turned into a gleam of joy. "I'll be rich! I'll be rich!" The fisherman looked happy. Excitedly, he immediately pulled the gold wire up to his boat. Even though he had already jumped several meters, he still continued to pull the gold wire. Meanwhile, the drought of gold wire seemed to be endless. The more he pulled it, the gold wire still had a connection. "What a long golden wire!" he said in surprise. "I'm going to be the richest man in the land." The fisherman's heart was really poisoned by greed. In fact, if he had taken just a few meters from the gold wire, his life would have been much better than before. However, the greedy nature that continued to spread in his heart made him not satisfied with what he obtained. He continued to pull the gold wire until the boat was full of gold wire. At that moment, suddenly there was a voice that came from the water. "Enough! Don't take the wire anymore!" The voice warned the fisherman. Time and again, the voice warned him. But the greedy fisherman ignored the voice. He continued to pull the gold wire. The boat was filled of gold wire. It could not hold the wire anymore. Slowly, the boat sank to the deep of the river. The fisherman did not realize that because he was busy pulling the wire. When he found out what happened, it was too late. The boat was completely sunk, and the fisherman panicked. He wanted to save the wire, but the boat sank very fast. The fisherman never came up again after that. People heard about the fisherman and his wire. Since then, the people named the river as Wire River, or in Indonesia, we call Sungai Kawat. So, look at the fisherman. The greedy in his heart made him sink to the deep of the river. So friends, don't be so greedy, because greedy will consume you. Greedy will make you bad. Greedy will make you away from your friend. Thank you very much. That's all my story. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.